All right, let's talk about artificial intelligence. I mean, it is absolutely everywhere, right? Breakthroughs are happening so fast, it's almost hard to keep up. It really feels like the future is just arriving. And for anyone watching the markets, that brings up a really big question. Yeah, how do you actually invest in these massive technological shifts while they're still happening? One strategy that tries to do exactly that is called growth trading. It's all about betting on that future today. So let's break down how it works. Okay, first up, what even is growth trading? And I have to say, I love this subtitle, Hunting for Industry Rockets. That just nails it, doesn't it? We're not talking about slow, steady companies here. We're on the hunt for the ones that are basically strapped in and ready for liftoff. So at its core, growth trading is all about finding companies that have explosive potential. We're talking about a super fast jump in their revenue, or them grabbing a huge chunk of the market, or signing up tons of new customers really, really quickly. These companies live in those fast-paced worlds like AI, biotech, you name it, where game-changing innovation is what really drives the value. Now, this slide gets right to the heart of it. It's a classic trade-off, right? The goal, the whole reason you're even looking at this, is that massive potential upside. But, and it's a big but, the other side of that seesaw is higher volatility. These stocks can have some really big swings up and down. It is for sure a high-risk, high-reward game. Okay, theory is one thing, but to really get a feel for this, let's just walk through a scenario. We're going to follow a trader who sees a huge opportunity in the AI space and decides to make a move. This is where you can see the whole strategy really come to life. And it all starts with this, a big announcement. A leading AI company has a genuine breakthrough, a new kind of processor that could change everything. For a growth trader, this is like a giant flashing light. It's the catalyst. This isn't just some minor update. It's a potential game changer. So here's where it gets really interesting. Our trader isn't just looking at the company by itself. They're thinking bigger. They're looking at something called the total addressable market, or TAM. Basically, they're asking, how big could this whole thing get? And with this AI breakthrough, they see a market that isn't just big, it's enormous. And this is how it could all play out over, say, 18 months. In month 1, the breakthrough gets announced, and our trader gets in early. They buy the stock. Then you fast forward to month 9. The company is actually delivering on the hype. They're hitting their ambitious sales targets. That confirms the initial bet. And by month 18, boom, the rest of the market has caught on, the stock has more than doubled, and that early insight has paid off in a big way. So that story sounds great, but it wasn't just a lucky guess. There was a method to the madness. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual process, how these growth traders really think and operate. It really boils down to these 5 steps. First, our trader identified an industry, AI, with that huge expanding TAM. Second, they evaluated the potential for massive revenue growth. Third, they entered early, right as that innovation was kicking off. Fourth, and this is key, they held on as long as that growth story was still playing out. And finally, they had a plan to exit, which is a crucial step we're going to get to in just a moment. All right, to really operate in this world, you've got to speak the language. There are a few key charms you'll hear all the time, and they're what traders use to justify their decisions. Let's look at a few. First up is hypergrowth. Now, this isn't just good growth. We're talking exponential. It's when a company's revenue is increasing so fast, it just blows the industry average out of the water. This is exactly what our AI company was experiencing. Next is the forward PE ratio, and this one is so important because it's a total shift in perspective. A growth trader is betting on the future, not the past. They care less about what a company earned last year and way more about what it's expected to earn next year. That's what the forward PE helps you analyze. This slide just sums it up perfectly. The traditional PE ratio is like looking in the rearview mirror. It asks, what happened? But the forward PE is like looking through the windshield at the road ahead. It asks, what's next? Which is pretty much the entire philosophy of growth trading in a nutshell. So where do these future expectations even come from? A key source is guidance. This is when the company itself tells the market what it expects to achieve. Strong, confident guidance is a massive green flag for a growth trader. It fuels all those positive future-looking metrics. And then comes the moment of truth. The earnings report. An earnings beat is when the company doesn't just meet expectations, it shatters them. For our AI trader, this would be powerful confirmation. It shows the growth story isn't just on track, it might even be accelerating. Now, this might be the most important and, honestly, the most difficult part of the process. Every rocket ride eventually comes to an end. A smart trader knows that getting in is only half the battle. You absolutely have to know when to get out. So what are they looking for? These are the key triggers. Is that incredible revenue growth starting to slow down? That's a sign the best days might be over. Is a major competitor entering the market? That could change everything. Does the company miss its earnings forecast? That's a serious red flag that the story has changed. Or, sometimes the trade is over simply because the innovation is now mainstream and the period of explosive growth is done. Ultimately, this whole strategy comes back to this one idea. This isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's about deeply understanding how a new technology can fundamentally reshape an entire industry, and then having the conviction to act on that insight before everyone else does. And that leaves us with a final thought. This entire strategy is built on looking at the world, identifying powerful trends, and anticipating what's next. So, as you look at technology, science, and culture, what's the next breakthrough you see coming?